Hi everyone, welcome back. I have a new skincare reaction video for you, and I say it with some emphasis because you guys don't know it, but it's actually been about like 3 months or something since we've shot a new skincare reaction video. You know, like the holidays came and everything, you know that we've been dealing with pandemic stuff and everything. So I actually sent my team home for like a month and a half so that they could actually be safe at home, quarantined with their families, and actually like enjoy their holidays and stuff. So we are finally like back at it, getting back into the groove. And I know you guys have been requesting this video to Jada Pinkett Smith's skincare routine for months now, but that's the reason why it took me so long to get to it, is because we pre-planned a bunch of videos and it was a really nice break for the entire team to just have a little downtime, a little mental downtime. So we're getting back into it. First one back is Jada Pinkett Smith, and I'm excited about this. Jada Pinkett Smith is an icon. You know, you guys know that I'm a little bit older here on YouTube, and you know, Jada Pinkett Smith is one of those women that I have watched in her career for a very long time. I think a lot of you guys know her now as, you know, like the host of Red Table Talk, and maybe you even know her as a mom, you know, being married to Will Smith and being, you know, a mom to Jaden and to Willow, who are also becoming, you know, bigger and bigger stars in their own right. So for me, I look at Jada Pinkett Smith and I think of someone that I have really watched since I was younger and really admired. So she's, to me, she's an icon, and she's also just an incredible businesswoman. She's smart, she's powerful in a lot of ways, and she's kind of what I personally strive to be, as far as, you know, when I look at women in the world who are just confident and really put out this great message about who they are. Jada Pinkett Smith is one of those people. So I'm excited to watch her skincare routine, but I'm also, with all of that being said, very nervous to watch this skincare routine, because when I start to get so many messages about somebody's skincare routine, I know that there's gonna be something in here that you guys think is going to, you know, like work me up and stuff. So I'm gonna go into this knowing that there's going to be something. And another reminder, these videos are meant to be entertaining, they're meant to be fun, they're meant to be educational. When we watch somebody's skincare routine and have a discussion about it, it helps us learn about what we should be doing for our own skincare routines, because everything is personal. If there is one takeaway from any of these videos, it's that your own skincare routine is very personal. So what we see her do will be very different from what you can do and what I can do for my skin. So always keep that in mind. Up until this moment also, I had no idea that she had her own YouTube channel, so I'm gonna leave a link to the original video. That way you can go and click on it, give her some love, and also see what other videos she's got on her channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Susan Yara. I've been in the beauty industry for 2 decades. I started off as a beauty editor. I now have my own skincare line. And on this channel, I like to educate mostly on skincare, but I just love beauty in general. All right, so on that note, let's watch this video.
Giving you that glow, girl. Let's. Hey guys.
Okay, wait, first off, she is gorgeous. Her skin is glowing. She looks amazing. I point that out because she looks so good that I almost want to be like, before even saying what she's gonna do, and knowing that you guys already have told me that there are some things in here that are questionable, I just want to point out, she looks amazing. It could be genetics, it could be because of doctors, it could be because of her skincare. There are probably just so many factors that go into how she looks the way she does, and that is incredible. So I always want you guys to keep that in mind, is that it's not just about the skincare routine. So let's go into it with that. Also, I saw that in the title it said her skincare restarter routine, so I take it this is not something that she does every single night.
Many people have asked about my skin routine, so I have a lot of them. I'm gonna give you my home base skin routine. This is my skin restarter. I don't have a regular esthetician that I go to. I might go get a professional facial maybe once or twice a year, maybe. So I really have learned how to take care of my skin. We can put on a lot of great makeup and what have you, but if you can't take that makeup off, baby, and have some beautiful essence shining through underneath, you feel me? Now today, I'm gonna...
So this is something that I have pretty much like preached over the last few years, and especially as I've aged and I've seen the changes in my skin and stuff. I used to focus more on my makeup and trying to make my makeup make me. If that makes any sense. Make and make and make. But I started to realize that the base underneath my makeup really mattered, my skin. How did my skin look? Am I putting on too much makeup because I'm trying to cover up my skin? And that's what I had this realization about. So I wholeheartedly believe in focusing on your skin and making sure that your skin is in a place where you feel really confident in it. I find it interesting that she says that she doesn't have a regular esthetician, but then she does say that she goes to an esthetician like once or twice a year. To me, that's having a regular esthetician. I go and see, for instance, Vanessa Hernandez, who I guess I consider my go-to esthetician. And I guess that's because it's been years of me going to see her, but I see Vanessa probably like twice a year on average. I don't actually go and see her every month or, you know, like every few months even. I see her maybe like once or twice a year because one, she's so busy, and two, I'm constantly, you know, trying new treatments and stuff like that. So it just, you know, life gets in the way and you don't necessarily go and see somebody that often. I think that just like your skincare routine, you go and see an esthetician as often as you need to, if that makes any sense. Like for me, when I first started seeing Vanessa, I had a lot of acne issues that I just couldn't clear up on my own, and I saw her more regularly. And at that, I probably saw her like 4 or 5 times a year, right? But that was in the beginning. And then as soon as I started to really get a handle of my skin and understand my skincare routine and everything, I started seeing her less and less. So when you do get a handle of it, you don't necessarily have to see an esthetician so regularly. It all just kind of depends on what it is that you need. Something that I really like that Jada just pointed out is that she's got several skincare routines. This is something that my team and I have been talking about, is how our skincare routine can even vary throughout the week because we're switching out different types of actives that we're using accordingly. We are, you know, trying out different products and stuff. Your skin type can change so often, even throughout the course of a month, depending on, you know, like what kind of climate you're in, depending on your period, depending on, you know, just anything that you're experiencing. So what you use in your skincare routine might change accordingly. And I think that that's really important to point out, because I know for some people, they'll stick with the same like 3 to 4 products for years and years and years, and that's what works for them. But for some people, they have so many different changes happening with their skin that they vary their routine accordingly.
Show your routine. I have various different kinds of products that I use, okay? So I'm hoping there's something here for everybody, because that's really how I flow naturally. Let me just explain to you my skin type, because not everything that I do today might not work for you. Some of it might work for you. So my T-zone is pretty oily. So I have to do sometimes different things with my T-zone. In here, pretty normal skin. Now, the bottom of my face is dry. It's all experimentation until you really figure out what works for you. Here's one thing I really want to stress for you guys. Good skin is not just about what you...
So she brought up, you know, her skin type. I love when people tell us what their skin type is, because it helps us understand why they're doing the things that they're doing in their skincare routine and why it varies from yours. You know, she's pointing out that she's got a combination of things happening to her skin. I've said this before, and I'm obviously not a dermatologist, I'm not an esthetician, but I tend to think that whenever we're experiencing some type of an extreme or some type of an imbalance like that, there's something that we can be doing, or there's something that we have done to our skin, whether it's with our skincare routine, treatments, being out in the sun, whatever it is that we're doing on a regular basis, that might be causing that kind of an imbalance as well. There could also be something internal that's happening. We're looking at her skin. I mean, I'm looking at her skin and I'm thinking, you look like perfection. And I don't see anything that she's talking about. It looks to me like she's got this perfect, even skin tone. She's got this glow happening. I don't see dryness here or oiliness anywhere. She looks like perfection to me, but she obviously knows what's happening with her own skin. But when you have these types of imbalances happening, I always think it's important to see a dermatologist, especially when you're with like her, when you have the income to go ahead and do that too, because you might want to see if there's a reason why your skin is having this kind of an imbalance. So just something to keep in mind.
Due to the outside of it. What you put in your body is super important. If you drink a lot of soda, if you eat a lot of junk food, if you drink a lot of alcohol, if you smoke, these are things that affect your skin. Water, okay? You have to drink tons of water. I drink 12 bottles of water a day, and that's probably not even enough.
First off, okay, I've had 2 kids and I can tell you right now, if you drink 12 bottles of water, you're just going to pee the entire day. I don't know if maybe she's like gotten herself used to that or what, but that's a lot of water. You don't have to drink that much water, but obviously you should drink water. It's part of living. I understand the criticism that a lot of people have when they watch these kinds of videos or they hear like a celebrity or somebody say like, the secret to my gorgeous glowing skin is that I drink a lot of water. Obviously water is part of being healthy and you have to have water and stuff, but there is so much more going on. What she mentioned about like, you know, if you smoke, what you're eating, all of that, it all comes together, right? It's not about one singular change that you make to your diet or anything. You guys hear me talk about some of my like minor health issues here and there and stuff. I can tell when something's acting up, like my thyroid is acting up just because of the way I look. So it makes a big difference. What is happening internally also affects what's happening externally. So there's definitely a correlation. Is it just water? It's not just water, but it is definitely all of it as a package.
So we're just gonna steam before we do anything because mama loves to steam, okay? There's nothing better for the face. Stay under for 5 minutes because the steam opens your pores, moisturizes your skin, and also loosens up whatever extra skin you have on your face. Just keep the skin luscious.
It's so funny because obviously steaming happens. I've gone to, you know, like several facials where they steamed my face and everything, but this is something for me that's really important. I don't like to steam my face, partially because you guys know, if you've been following me, I deal with melasma. You guys can see the melasma that I have, and it's funny because some people that are new to my channel or that are new when they follow me on Instagram, they'll be like, you're dealing with a lot of dark spots and stuff, and they're almost like, oh, I don't know if we should trust her about skin. But what they don't realize is if I didn't have my melasma under control and didn't know the things that can trigger it, like steam, then my melasma would be worse. I have to do so much to keep my melasma under control, and part of that is knowing the things that will trigger it. Steaming my face triggers my melasma so quick, I can't even do hot yoga because it will trigger my melasma at this point in my life. It's the same thing here. If you deal with melasma, which, you know, I didn't really see any hyperpigmentation on her face at all, so that's maybe something that she doesn't deal with. So you have to keep that in mind. Steaming for her might work, but it doesn't necessarily work for me. It's terrible for me. For some reason, I feel like these trends come and go a lot also in skincare. I guess it's like anything else in life and fashion and all that stuff too. These trends come and go. So like, you know, at-home steamers used to be a thing, I feel like in like the 80s, and then they popped back up in the 90s and early 2000s and stuff, and then they go away for a little while. I think recently, maybe because we've been staying at home more because of the pandemic and quarantine and stuff, but I've had so many more messages from people asking if they should get an at-home steamer for their face. And my response usually is, no. The reason why you might want to steam your skin, she kind of mentioned it, it doesn't open your pores, but it does prep your skin in a lot of ways. It's just having that like warmth to your skin. It's like having a dampness to your skin that helps your skincare products absorb a little bit better. You don't need to steam your face for that though, if that makes any sense. And you actually don't even know if that steamer might be getting gross and dirty and collecting mold and all that kind of stuff over time too, which is something that can actually happen. Instead, all you need to do is after you take a shower, keep the doors closed while it's still steamy in there and do your skincare routine. I do that all the time. I love when it's nice and steamy. I keep all of that humidity and everything inside the bathroom while I do my facial skin and my body skin. You know, I like to have all of that steam in there because it will help my skincare products absorb a little bit better. My skin won't dry out as quickly either. You can also just get like a warm towel and press it to your skin. Just make sure it's not hot. You don't want heat on your face. That can be very damaging to your skin. It can even like bring up, you know, your capillaries, and it can even cause, if you go too hot within, if you do this too regularly, you could cause broken capillaries if you have very sensitive skin. As you age, everything is just so much more sensitive too. So you want to keep that in mind. If you are prone to, you know, redness and sensitivity, you obviously want to steer away from steaming your face. So these are all just things to think about. Does she do this on a regular basis? I don't know. I'm already watching this, and she did caveat like this is her like go-to, you know, when she really needs to reset, whatever that means. Something in my gut tells me she doesn't really do this, but whatever. Let's just continue watching.
Do a little pat, and listen, try to get your neck and your chest too, because is all connected, specifically for women. First and foremost,
You guys know I always say, your face starts at your forehead and ends at your nipples.
we are going to start with a gentle cleanse, and this is one of my favorites. This is Tatcha, and this is a deep cleanser, but it's really super gentle. Now, a lot of people don't like to use their hands on their face. I do. Okay, I like to touch my skin. I like to be with my skin in a very intimate way. So you're just going to do a little gentle something. Also behind your ears, let me tell you something. That skin back there, we often forget. And then we're just going to rinse off. For now, you want to keep the water really warm when you're rinsing, because we're going to keep the pores open, make the skin available to receive. A lot of us don't rinse our skin well, and that can dry it out as well by leaving product on. All right, so we did a nice little...
You know, she keeps talking about like this warmth and everything. I think warmth is okay, but it's really about keeping it lukewarm, right? Like you don't want to have extreme temperatures on either end. And this just goes again for like as you age especially, it gives you more opportunities for irritation for your skin. And that irritation, you guys know, can eventually turn into inflammation, and then that inflammation turns into hyperpigmentation, and so on and so on and so on. And I guess I'm just hyper aware of that too, because I deal with melasma and hyperpigmentation myself, so maybe I'm just really sensitive to it. But that's exactly what I see when I hear somebody say like warmth, or you know, like taking a warm rag and looking like they're a little bit rough with it. She was rough is a very strong word for, you know, what I saw, considering though that she was like dabbing with the towel and then she took the, you know, the washcloth and really rubbed the cleanser off of her skin. I take it she's using a washcloth in this video because it's just not as messy. She's not actually sitting at her, you know, like bathroom sink and stuff either. So, you know, like I always take that into account when we're watching a video. She keeps saying something though. She keeps saying to keep your pores open. So I want you to remember your pores don't open. You know, I think it's like this misconception that you can open your pores and that helps to clean them out more. But you guys have heard me talk about this. When your skin is damp, it does absorb your products a lot better. And that's really all that you need to remember. You don't have to keep it warm. You don't have to open your pores. All you have to do is keep your skin damp. And you can even do that by using something like an essence, right? Or a toner. Those are really good to prep your skin for your next products, and they help them absorb better if you apply your products to damp skin. That also means right after you rinse off your face, just apply your next product really quickly before your skin is dry.
Wash. So we're gonna steam one more time because steam is really important. We're gonna steam a lot. It's just so healthy for the skin. It's the thing that gives you the glow. It's the thing that keeps wrinkles away.
Steam is not important. I think that's kind of what I'm trying to get at, is the steam isn't important. It's not going to give you, I mean, if she's talking about the glow because you get that rosiness and that circulation, then you can just massage your face a little bit. You can get one of those jade rollers. You can get one of those little tools that just helps to get that circulation going. This is a problem as you age. You actually start to have worse and worse circulation. When we start to age, we even get like a grayish tone to our skin because that circulation isn't there. When you think about like a baby, they have that fresh pink like tone to their skin. It's that rosiness, and that is truly a natural glow, but they're not doing anything to get that. It's just their circulation, or maybe they have sensitive skin. There are a lot of factors going into this. So I understand what she's getting at. Steam does cause that like rosiness to your skin, but that might not be a good thing if you're older. If you're like me and you're prone to some type of hyperpigmentation, that's not good for your skin at all. So you want to make sure that you understand what the difference is. It's not the key. You do not have to steam your face, and you definitely don't want to go in and steam it again. She just cleansed her face. I don't know why she would actually need to steam her face again. You really can truly just go in with a toner at this point. You can even just splash some water on your face, and it could be cold water. You would still be prepping your skin for your next product.
Go. All right, so this is PreCleanse. Dermalogica PreCleanse, okay? And this is like a really light oil that is gonna help the microderm abrasion machine to go over the skin easily. So this is my microdermabrasion.
Wait, I didn't know Jada Pinkett Smith was gonna pull out a microdermabrasion machine. And this is a legit machine. Like, this is a pro machine. This isn't even like an at-home one that is maybe a little bit more gentle. We're gonna talk about that in a second. First, okay, so I just realized I didn't even address the Tatcha cleanser that she used. Great cleanser, but she's now going in with the PreCleanse, so it's a little bit confusing because you guys know I actually really like PreCleanse. It's one of the first oil cleansers that I ever used on my face and start to understand this whole concept of double cleansing. PreCleanse would be normally used before you go in with your cleanser like the Tatcha one. So she kind of went a little out of order. I would go in first with the PreCleanse to break down all the makeup, the sunscreen, the grime. Then I would go in with the Tatcha cleanser, which is a very gentle exfoliating cleanser. It's so gentle you could probably use it every day, again, according to your skin. If you have super, super sensitive skin, maybe not, but I like to think that this is a really, really gentle daily exfoliating cleanser. But she says that she's going in with the PreCleanse so that she can use it, I'm assuming, for some slip on her skin with the microdermabrasion tool. This is a pro machine. If you guys don't know what microdermabrasion is, so this tool essentially has two things happening. It has an exfoliation, a physical exfoliation that's happening that in my opinion is actually kind of like gentle, but it is a physical exfoliation. A lot of people liken it to feeling like a cat's tongue when they lick you. So there's like this physical exfoliation that's happening with it. Sometimes they use like diamond dust or different kinds of particulates on the tip of the tool to get that kind of exfoliation. So that alone can be very rough with your skin if it's not done in the right way and if it's done too rough. But the other thing that's a little bit probably the more concerning thing to me about a microdermabrasion machine, if it's not in the right hands, is that it has a very strong suction to it. Like it's sucking up all of those dead skin cells, and that's kind of how it's working. So it's exfoliating your skin, and while it's exfoliating your skin, it's also sucking up all of those dead skin cells that it's pulling up, right? So this alone, if you think about it, could be a really bad combination, but that suction is so strong, especially on a professional device like this, that if it's held in the same place too long, and when I say too long, like seconds too long, then you could get broken capillaries. And I mean in a very bad way. Like, again, this goes back to the older you are, the more sensitive your skin is and the more prone you are to having some type of an irritation or something that can be very damaging for your skin. Broken capillaries are one of those things. Like, if you don't have that elasticity to your skin, or your skin is too sensitive and you just let it suction too long, you can get really bad broken capillaries that can be very hard to get rid of, and it just makes your skin look red, it makes your skin look older, it makes your skin look irritated permanently. This is something that you should be very concerned with. So do not use an at-home microdermabrasion machine like this unless you are a trained professional, and when you go see somebody that does it, make sure that they know what they're doing too.
The machine right here, it has like a suction. It has different levels of intensity. This removes dead skin off of your face. But you...
Oh, all right, so now I know. For some reason, I thought there was gonna be a DIY portion to this skincare routine, and that's why I thought like everybody was messaging me and everything. So now I know I'm gonna have to sit through watching her microdermabrasion her face, and that makes me really sad because this is the most gorgeous face ever. So something that she said that really stood out to me as like an old school mentality, like an old school way of thinking, even a way that I used to think as well, is you're trying to get those dead skin cells off. There was this amazing Instagram post by a dermatologist named Dr. Beibei Du-Harpur. She is Dermatology Demystified on Instagram. We actually just posted her skincare routine not too long ago for our new series called Skincare Expert. She did this post, and I'll leave a link below in the description box to it, where she talked about what are dead skin cells on our face, and they serve their purpose, you know? So we're constantly thinking like we have to just shed all of the dead skin cells, but they're technically supposed to shed on their own. And when you're younger, they do in a very efficient manner, right? But as we get older, it starts to slow down a little bit, and then we start to see that buildup. Or there are other things that we can do, like maybe we start using tretinoin, retinol, anything that speeds up the skin cell turnover on our skin. It can cause us to have that flakiness and that buildup, and then we feel like we need to exfoliate a little bit more. There are reasons to exfoliate your skin, but you don't have to get so obsessed with it. And I think that's one of the problems with skincare in general, is that we've become so obsessive with hyper exfoliating our skin and feeling like we have to exfoliate so much and be so rough with our skin so that it can look smooth. Whenever I talk to people who are like at a loss for their skin, but I'm looking at them and thinking they look perfect and gorgeous, they're like, oh, I have this texture to my skin. And I'm like, normal texture? Like normal, your skin looks normal? And I realize they're trying to get this really perfect like smoothness to their skin that you only get from filters and stuff and things that you see on Instagram. And so maybe it's like messing with our heads that we feel like our skin has to look so unbelievably smooth. And so this is something that I think ties back into this whole idea of having to get rid of all of our dead skin cells. Yeah, I understand getting rid of that flakiness and exfoliating so that your skin looks nice and vibrant. It definitely absorbs your products more. And like I said, there are different things that you can be doing or experiencing that cause you to need a little bit more exfoliation. Everyone is different. But when you're younger, especially, you don't need to exfoliate. You technically don't need to exfoliate as much and as rough as you think you should. And I think this is just a mentality that's been kind of ingrained in us. And you've definitely heard me say that before, that you're getting rid of the dead skin cells, but try not to concentrate on that. I guess that's my whole point, is like really like take a step back and be like, okay, am I overdoing it by having this obsession with getting rid of my dead skin cells? And I love that post by Dr. Du-Harpur because she really put it into a good perspective of that cycle that your skin is going through naturally.
Take it and you just glide across your skin. So we'll start here. You have to be careful under your eyes. You don't want to really, because under your eyes is really sensitive. And you do every area of your face. Now, I also get underneath my chin, but I don't do my neck. This is one of the machines that irritates the heck out of my neck. But what I do, I go hard on my chest. Ooh, child, my skin is feeling silky already. And let me tell you, I be killing Willow, because I be making her do my back. And sometimes I do my butt. Yes, I do, because you know, ladies, you want that tail to be smooth, right? Yes, and soft as a baby. We're gonna rinse with some warm water. Rinse.
That was painful for me to see. And the reason why it was painful for me to watch was because she's just so perfect and gorgeous. And to me, and you know, like I'm projecting also because I'm like, oh, any of that, my skin would have been destroyed. I would have spent the next like 3 months trying to make sure that my skin goes back to normal and dealing with like the hyperpigmentation that it would have like caused, and you know, like any extra wrinkles and loss of elasticity. Like that to me was like, oh my goodness, that is going to ruin my skin. She obviously has very resilient skin, so keep that in mind. Also, by watching her technique, also know that she does not do this on a regular basis. So keep that in mind when you're watching these videos. These are not the things that they're necessarily doing on a regular basis.
Little marks here from the microdermabrasion, and
she even said there are marks there from the microdermabrasion. That's not good. You don't want to have marks left over from some kind of a skincare treatment that you did, unless you went and got like microneedling done or something. You knew you were causing like trauma to your skin because a professional was doing that to your face. You don't want to do something at home that's going to leave marks on your face. Leaving marks on your face to me is like, oh my goodness, that is the worst thing you could do, is leave marks on your face.
Like about 20 minutes, that'll be gone. For those of you,
20 minutes will be gone for her. 5 years it'll be on my face. Like that's something to keep in mind. Again, this is why skincare is so personal. She says that it's gonna go away. I just see trauma to my face. Like that is definitely going to show on my skin for a very long time if I do something like that.
Who might not be able to get the machine, I don't know, this costs like $2, $3, maybe even less than that. This is one of those exfoliating rags. You literally can steam your face and just use one of these rags with a pre-cleanse, okay? To get in there, to get the dead skin off of your face. I like to do a gentle
When she turned her cheek like that, I could see the marks that she got from her microderm abrasion tool. Do not do that at home, you guys. You guys know, microfiber towel, just be gentle with it, but it's a great way to exfoliate your face, especially if you only need some gentle exfoliation, some extra cleansing, or you don't want to have, you know, you don't like that feel of like, you know, like a layer left from an oil cleanse or something, then that's a great way to get all of your makeup off and stuff, as long as you're gentle.
Exfoliation of my eyelids and my eyebrows. Just put some warm water and use baby soap. Burt's Bees.
I don't know if you need to do separate exfoliation for your eyes and eyebrows. If you feel like you have a lot of dead skin cells and stuff like that, and you like need to exfoliate in that area, I guess so, but she could have done that, you know, when she was cleansing her face, like with the Tatcha product. I'm pretty sure she could have gone into like that area and very gently, or even with her microfiber towel, you could exfoliate in that area. So you don't need to have a separate step for that, but let's see what she does.
Baby soap is a really good one. I use baby soap because when you're using products around your eyes, first of all, you want something that's not gonna sting, and you want something super gentle. Don't have to use a lot.
I tend to find that a lot of baby products on the market are actually not as gentle as you think that they are, because, you know, they say that they're gentle because they take out, you know, like parabens and sulfates and stuff like that. But that's actually the stuff that you shouldn't be worried about. What you should be worried about when it comes to babies, because babies technically have the most sensitive skin. I have a video on my personal YouTube channel where I showed my baby's skincare routine. If there's ever a time that I think you shouldn't have fragrance, or especially essential oils in a skincare product, because you guys know, I usually don't care at all, especially when it comes to my own skin, because I feel like my skin is resilient in that way. But when it comes to baby products, and I know I'm like going off on a whole different thing because this isn't really about her, but when it comes to baby products, I think it's actually the fragrance and the essential oils that you should be avoiding when you are using them on your little babies, because their skin tends to react to those kinds of ingredients. So that's not necessarily the most gentle. Also to know that when you are using products around your eyes, they've been usually tested, not necessarily testing for regulation and stuff, but they've usually been tested to not be irritating to the eyes, because obviously consumers that use the products, if they use them on their eyes, especially like a PreCleanse, for instance, if everybody started complaining about it irritating their eyes, this would not do well. This product would get lots of backlash, right? So these products are usually tested. So like her PreCleanse, that Tatcha, all of that around the eyes would have probably have been fine. And I say probably, not knowing like for sure, but you know, I've used both of those products to cleanse my eye area, you know, so same thing. I guess I'm just trying to point out like there's no difference. I almost don't think this was made to be around the eyes, right? So take with that what you will.
But let me tell you something, you get a lot of dead skin on your eyelids and in your eyebrows.
Jada, I can't stop looking at your cheeks right now because they are so red. They are so red. It makes me so sad.
Okay, but you gotta do this super, super gentle, okay? Then we need to do another steam.
Oh, she's cleansing and she's steaming. I don't know what's going on. When are we gonna get to actual skincare products, Jada? I have not seen you do and apply any skincare products. I've only seen you overly cleansing and stripping your skin and being very rough with it.
All right, now, we're about to do the blaster. And I tell you this.
The blaster. I was getting bad. First skincare routine back in 2021, and I'm having a little bit of a hard time right now.
Baby, right here clears them pores. You can use it as a cleanser or a mask. Today, we're gonna use it as a little mask, and we're not gonna leave it on too long, because when I tell you, baby, woo! But yeah, you wanna keep this on for a little second. Just let the pores open, and then we're gonna take it off. This skin, it'll have you clean, clean, clean. Woo! Okay, we're gonna steam one more time.
Okay, so she essentially just cleansed her face again. You know, something I want to point out is all the products that she used are good products. I have no problem with any of these products. You know, this cleanser that she's using, or this clay mask that she's using, it's a benzoyl peroxide clay mask. Benzoyl peroxide is amazing when you have acne. When you have like acne that you're dealing with, it's one of the best ingredients that you can use, especially in this type of a wash-off form, because benzoyl peroxide can be very irritating. It can be very drying to your skin. It can give you issues that you then have to fix with all of the rest of the things that you put into your skincare routine with hydration and all that stuff, right? So, you know, when it's in a wash-off product like this, it tends to be a little bit more mild, and then you can get the results over time instead of trying to like blast it the way she called it, the blaster. The reason why I think she calls it the blaster is because we don't see any pimples or even clogged pores. There could be a filter on this or something. I'm suspecting there is, because there are times when you can't really tell how bad the microdermabrasion, like what it did to her face, but then as she turns, you can really see it. But watching this, I'm starting to realize, you know, that she maybe thinks that she's got to be a lot rougher with her skin than she needs to be. And I think this is a thing. I think this is very, very normal. This is very normal thinking, is that we have to just continue stripping our skin and stripping our skin. And this might explain again why she's feeling like she's got this dryness that's happening here and this oiliness that's happening in another part. You know, she obviously told us this is not her go-to, but if she thinks this way about her skin, that means that what she does in her everyday skincare routine might be too stripping as well. I would have thought she would have actually put on a lot more hydrating and moisturizing ingredients. For instance, we watched Lisa Rinna in one of my skincare reaction videos, and she put on so many hydrating and moisturizing products on her face, and she just like kept going and going and going. People were like, oh, I can't believe that she put that much on her face. But she just nourished her skin and hydrated her skin, and as we're aging, we can actually do that. Our skin can take it. Some skin, not all skin, but as we age, we lose those lipids naturally in our skin. We're not producing as much of the fats and the oils and stuff. So our skin can take it as we age, right? For the most part. Again, it's very personal. I'm generalizing, but she's doing the opposite in this routine, and she's stripping her skin.
Yes, we are. This is my routine. Now.
And also the steaming, the over steaming at this point. I don't know. I don't understand.
We about to put this avocado mask on. This avocado mask I made this morning. What the honey does, it has nutrients in it that the skin just loves. So the higher grade honey that you use, now any honey you use, you'll get a result, but the higher grade does a little something different. Today I used this little lavender honey because, you know, Mama was just trying to get a little cute. For something like this, I would leave on for a good 20 minutes. The one thing I've learned about skin is that...
So, okay, we got to a DIY part. There is a DIY part. This isn't that bad to me. This is kind of like harmless and doesn't do much for your skin. This is, in fact, the most nourishing thing she has done for her skin in this entire skincare routine. The pre-cleanse is pretty nourishing too since it's oil, but this right here is like the most gentle, nourishing thing that she has done for her whole entire skincare routine at this point. At this point, I'm kind of like, please do this mask, right? So, but don't do the mask, please don't do the mask. Avocado is fine, it's fatty, it has really good fats for your skin. Whether those fats actually absorb and go into your skin and actually help it, who knows, because it's not formulated for that, it's meant to be eaten, and I'm gonna venture to say you'd get more benefits to all of your organs and everything inside of your body. And going back to like what happens internally, you probably get more benefits by eating the avocado and the honey. She has olive oil in here too, same thing. Her and J-Lo must be talking. Olive oil must be the secret to that glow, but it's not. You've heard me say this before, and I've heard, you know, lots of people say this before. When you're using these kinds of like DIY products and stuff, the very least, you're getting such minimal benefit to your skin that you're wasting your time, and you're wasting the time that you could have put into perfecting your skin and doing the things that would have been great for your skin. So, I mean, in this case, honestly, I would just ditch this and get yourself a cheap hyaluronic acid serum and get that hydration like that, just very quickly.
You really have to keep switching up your routine because your skin gets immune. You'll find a product that you love and you start using it and you get like really dope results. And then the next thing you know, you're like, oh man, this product is not doing for me what it used to do. It just means that the skin needs a break from that particular product, and now you need to find another product. So I have like several different kinds of routines to like always keep my skin surprised. And it doesn't mean that that product will never work again. It just means it needs a break, and then you can go back to it in like a month or so.
So not true, that's not true at all. So what I'm gonna venture to say is if you get a product that you think just is amazing, doing such a great job on your skin, and then it just stops working. Same with like your hair, for instance, and it just stops working, that means that maybe it worked, if that makes sense, right? Like that means that you got to the place where you needed to get with that product, and it means it does work and you're just not dealing with that issue anymore, right? If your skin changes and has a whole other issue that skincare product doesn't address, then of course you need to change it. And you guys heard me say that in the beginning. You know, like your skin is constantly changing according to your hormones, according to the climate, according to anything that you've done to your skin. If you go and microdermabrasion your skin, you might have drier skin for a little while your skin is trying to kind of heal itself and come back to its normal status, I guess. So there are usually two things happening there. If your product stops working for you, it got you where you needed to be, and you just maybe need to maintain that now, or you're just experiencing some type of other issue or change in your skin that would have happened anyway, whether the product was there or not.
My skin is always super soft after this. Oh, baby, look at that. Oh. If you're looking for a moisturizing,
always remember, if you put any kind of oil on your face, again, the olive oil in this case, obviously you're gonna have like a little bit of a layer that feels like it's glowy and nourished.
Something that's more on the daily, if you don't always feel like doing the avocado mask. Let me tell you this right here. This Tatcha Luminous mask, it's a face sheet. Does that tell you everything? One last steam.
I would have preferred that she used that sheet mask. She would have gotten so much more benefit to her skin and more nourishment to her skin. Again, it goes back to if you just get a hydrating serum, which is essentially what these sheet masks are, but they just sit on your face a little bit longer and absorb maybe a touch longer. You know, you can get more expensive masks like the Tatcha one, or you can get even more affordable ones, but it's all about getting something that's nourishing to your skin and hydrating to your skin that was meant to be on your skin. Did she just go back in for another steam? Jada.
Let's get to our serums. This right here, ProDerma. Okay, now this is something that you have to get offline, but this is a retinol serum that I really live by, unless I'm gonna be out in the sun. If I'm out in the sun, mama don't use this. And what this does, just once again, just helps to keep that skin regenerating. This is one of my favorites. Now, I use this maybe.
All right, so she just put on a retinol oil. You know, I haven't tried this one. Retinol oils to me tend to be a little bit more gentle. They're a little bit more nourishing to the skin. When you put it on in an oil form like that, it doesn't absorb as quickly into your skin, so you're less prone to irritation. Plus, you've got that nourishment from the oil, so you don't get that irritation as quickly or as easily. If you're one of those people that's prone to irritation, this is a great way to, I guess, like venture into retinol. You know, she said that she doesn't use it during the day because you don't want to damage your skin or something like that. I don't even remember what she said at this point, but I want you guys to remember something. You don't use retinol during the day because most retinols or some retinols can be very photosensitive. So it can get inactive by the sun, by UV rays. So you use it at night mostly because you want it to be as effective as possible. You don't want it to become ineffective, right? So that's really the reason why you use retinol at night. Whether you're using active ingredients like retinol or any kind of exfoliators at night or during the daytime, your skin is going to be more sensitive, period. And I would argue actually, it's the hours after you've put on an active that your skin then gets more sensitive. Like you've probably been there where you've put on some kind of a strong active and then you've woken up in the morning and your skin like feels tighter, or you realize like, oh gosh, that was actually really strong for my skin and now it's pink or something. So, you know, you just don't really know when you're going to get that sensitivity. Either way, your skin is sensitive. So you have to protect your skin anyway, I guess is the whole point. The reason you don't use retinol though during the daytime is because it can tend to be, not all retinols, but it can tend to be sensitive to the sun.
Be twice a week because it can be a little strong. So this is my Wrinkle Texture Repair. And this is not cheap, but this is one of those products I will say, especially to my OG Thundercats, this is a good product. Let me put a little bit of that on. And then
so that is a retinol from Zoe Skin Health, which is a brand owned by a dermatologist here named Dr. Obaji in Beverly Hills. This is a really good product as far as retinols go, and because I haven't tried the other one, which is a retinol oil, I would venture to say this is better. You don't need to double up on your retinols though, I guess is the other point that I wanna make. She put on a retinol oil, which then she followed with a retinol emulsion, which is essentially in the form of a light moisturizer. It's not going to absorb as well as it would have if she wouldn't have put it on top of an oil. You guys know that whole thing. I have said that, you know, it can be a little bit confusing because I like to have my actives closer to my skin. So if it's in an oil form, which I tend to not choose usually, I would probably put it underneath a thick moisturizer just because I want my actives to be closer. So in some ways, like the moisturizer is like closing it in onto my skin, if that makes any sense. But the moisturizer then is probably not going to absorb as much. So those are like the things that you're playing with here. But she just went ahead and used 2 retinols. I'm gonna venture to say that the Zoe one is probably a better retinol and you don't have to double up.
This is one of the many moisturizers that I use. This is Epicuren. And this is another great one. I just found this one. I love face oils, but some of them are too greasy. Some of them aren't really effective. This one is so good. I'll use this one as a moisturizer on my eyelids, on my eyebrows, and my chin. And that's it.
You know, she must have dry skin on her like eyebrows and eyelid area and stuff, because if I put, me personally, right, this is like her skincare routine is different for her, my skincare routine is different for me. I have like oily eyelids, or not even oily, I just have like, I don't have any issues with my eyelids. So if I put any type of oil, even sunscreen on my eyelids, I have to set it during the daytime because it'll just travel into my eyes and irritate my eyes the entire day. It's interesting to see that she's put this big focus on her eye area. Again, I would maybe go see a dermatologist for that to maybe find out why her skin is so irritated, or so, not irritated, so dry in that area that she feels like she needs to take separate care of her eye area. Both of those moisturizers, her moisturizer, the Epicuren one, and the oil are totally fine. You know, when you're just finishing off your skincare routine after you've had other products in it already, like the retinol products that she used. Like I said, that retinol by Zoe Skin Health, for instance, is technically like a light hydrating moisturizer as well. So then packing it with another moisturizer, or even an oil in this case, it's totally fine.
Is my base restart skin refresher routine, and I hope you get something out of it, and I have so many more if you guys are super interested. Well, this was a lot of fun. Thank you for hanging out with me.
All right, so that was Jada Pinkett Smith, her restart skincare routine. So not her nightly skincare routine, which I think is very important to point out. That was a really rough skincare routine, you guys. She did a lot of stuff that made my heart start pounding a little bit. I hadn't felt this way in a very long time watching one of these skincare routines. You know, I think the big takeaway here is I understand I have moments where I'm like, oh my goodness, as a mom, as a busy woman, I definitely, if I have a moment where I can just focus on myself and really give myself a nice skincare routine where I got to like maybe take a bath, which doesn't happen often, where I get to indulge in a bath without my kids wanting to get in the bathtub with me. Any time that you get to yourself, especially a skincare routine, you want to pamper yourself. And I think that's totally fine, but not if it's going to be at the expense of your skin, right? So when you're going to pamper your skin, I would think of it more so as like adding more nourishment to your skin, making it a night of massaging, gentle massage for your skin, getting that circulation going, nourishing it with hydrating and moisturizing ingredients that help to just give you that hydration, that balance that you need to your skin. This was more of the opposite. It was like stripping your skin and trying to use ingredients that are very strong for the skin, overly cleansing your skin, steaming your skin. You don't need to do that stuff. And this felt kind of old school to me, I guess, is really what I saw happening here. This felt like a very old school mentality of really just beating your skin up, like being so rough that you feel like you have to just strip it and get everything off. But it was potentially even more intense because she pulled out that microdermabrasion machine. If I were to kind of redo this skincare routine for her, I would cut a lot of it. I would essentially just go in with the pre-cleanse first to get all of that grime and everything, the makeup loosened up, rinse that off, go in with the Tatcha cleanser because it's a nice, gentle exfoliating cleanser. After that, I would go in with the Tatcha sheet mask and get the antioxidants and that hydration and nourishment that she needs for her skin. Then I would go in with just one retinol, and I would personally choose the Zoe Skin Health one to get that skin cell turnover, the anti-aging that she probably wants, the brightening for her skin, just all of the good things that we know retinol can do for the skin. And it's also giving her a little bit of light hydration and moisturization because it's an emulsion. And then I would follow up with either that moisturizer or the oil, whichever one that she chooses to use. She could even use both of them. She could go the moisturizer and then the oil if she wants to, and she would still have a really great skincare routine. So that's how I would have liked to have seen this go. I think all of the extra stuff that she did was just too much for her skin, way too rough for her skin. Even with the steaming, if she would have just done it the first time, like right before she cleansed her skin or right after she did her first cleanse, I would have been like, you don't need to do it, but it's fine. But it was the continuous steaming and stuff that really is just too much in my opinion. Just all those extra things that she did that probably were planned out for a video so that it could also be entertaining and stuff. But I want you guys to remember, this is not what she does on a regular basis, and it definitely wouldn't be good for her skin if she did do it on a regular basis. So you guys definitely do not need to buy a steamer, and you do not need to buy yourselves a microdermabrasion tool, especially a pro machine like that. Leave that to the professionals. If you guys have any comments, obviously tell me below. Find me on Instagram. I'm at Susan Yara. Tell me who you want me to react to next, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.